Hello and welcome back in another sheet metal workshop, and in this video I'd like to introduce the WST hand level Guillotine Shear from Schwartmanns. Now I have using this shear for a long time, and it also came appeared in a couple of videos, and now I've decided to make an exclusive video about how to use it and what you also can do with it. Now it cuts a maximum from 1.5 millimeter steel, and the maximum thickness for stainless steel is 1 millimeter. Now the blades are also made out of stainless steel and they are hardened, so these are standard coming with the Guillotine, so it doesn't matter as long you put oil on them when you use it. So I have here spray oil. What I always do is I'm spraying it a little bit, and you're always good with it. That is an important thing. So always when you cut something, especially when it is about stainless steel, always put oil in it. Now I have here also a hand hold, so I can press it so on the metal, so my metal will move. And I have here also a ruler here. I can move it with this hand wheel. I can move it. It goes up to 58 centimeter, or also 580 millimeter is the maximum distance. So I can put it here 580 millimeter and cut it. Now I have also here an accessory what also comes with the shear. So if I want here also a distance, for example, also I have here 580 millimeter distance, and also I'm gonna make this fast. So I have here now 580 millimeters, so I can also put a metal through here and cut it. Okay, of course you have to move here this on this side, and for example I have here got a metal, and I want to move. For example, I want to just cut a little bit. For example, I want to cut 2 millimeters because my metal is too long and I want to only cut 2 millimeters. So see, it's very thin. It's very thin, I can cut. So that is one possibility. And the second possibility is I hold it here against the slide and cut it. Now this is 0.6 millimeter thickness, and I told before it goes up for steel 1.5 millimeter thickness. And I have here also an example. It's not a big part, but I have here also a piece of steel, and so this should be 1.5 millimeter thickness. Now if you cut 1.5 millimeter, especially you have a short part, it's always good. So I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller, so you can cut it like this. I hold it, and you know it crushes directly here on the metal, or I put this here complete to the end, and now I'm squeezing it here with a holder. And then if I cut, see, then I move it forward, and again and there it is. So 1.5 millimeter steel is no problem, so up to 1 meter. And if I cut thicker material, it's always good to slide it back. Now I have also here stainless steel. For example, here is also 1 millimeter stainless steel, so Here put on 0. So 1 millimeter thickness stainless steel, and of course here put it here on the metal, and I hold it, and now if I cut, I hold it with 2 hands, and by cutting it I'm pushing this to myself. So I'm gonna push it here to myself and then go under. See, 1 millimeter in one cut, no problem. Now there's also other stuff what you can do to make it yourself easier. Okay, now another example also what I want to show, if you have a longer sheet metal size and a little bit oversized. So I have here above 2 meters aluminium 1 millimeter, and I have my cut size, my distance already in the slide, set it up. So what I'm doing is moving this up, see, and so it can really be a long sheet metal. And what I'm doing now, so I'm cutting, moving it forward, next cut, and again moving it forward. So, and now I have cut here, as you can see a stripe here, and you cannot see, it's like one cut. So these are also one of the possibilities. You can cut longer metals. And here also another example. For example, here I have here this template for a doom end, and I'm just gonna mark it. Oh, you see it here, you can see here those lines, black lines. And what I'm going to try to cut is I'm gonna try to cut it in form. So just get it here on the knife, on the line. And then by cutting, I'm also moving it slowly in form. So I've seen people doing it also with stainless steel, bigger templates, cutting it. This is aluminium 0.6 millimeter, but it's just for an example to show. A minute here. So now the other side comes. And there it is. So put it on the template, and well, it's pretty much close. So this is a thing you just need to practice. So it's also possible some forms, as long the form goes in one direction. So a direction like in an S form will be a little bit difficult, but it's also possible to cut in forms. There's a possibility, for example, you have here a metal ruler, and you can, normally we cut the first 10 millimeter off and put here with a super glue. And if it is cut with super glue, it means I have a metal, and if I want a quick size, I move it here until, for example, 400 millimeter. Put it here on the 400 millimeter and cut it. And the next cut I have here, for example, a different size, and then I can cut 2 sizes at once. Now the thing is, if you use here this metal ruler and you want to put here on this accessory, then it's not anymore on the table and then this slips under. So that's a thing you have to decide. And if you put it on with super glue, I will bend this over, so if you have here some metal coming in, it won't stuck. Now there's also another alternative, and that's my favorite alternative. If you have a ruler, a magnetic ruler, looks like a strip, also in millimeter. So I'm gonna put here on the knife, on the cutting knife, exactly on 0. See, and so now it's exactly on 0, and you can see here the seam. There's here a seam, and it goes exactly on 190 millimeters. So what I can do, I pull this up and put my 190 millimeter exactly on the seam. And here is a little bit angle going down. So that's only 60 millimeter. That means 60 millimeter, everything what is above is exactly. Now here, this little piece I'm going to cut off. Okay, and now if I want, for example, to cut 33, so I'm looking here at this line and hold it here against here 33, gotta cut, and here, see, it's exactly 33 centimeter, 330 millimeter. Okay, now there are also other cut methods. For example, if you want to cut out an angle, a rectangle, for example, I have here again another piece of metal, and I'm just gonna show it. And I have here this line, and here. So I have here this square, and I want to cut it out. So what I'm doing is I'm putting here this where the slide is and move it until the knife. So now here it's lined up with my knife, and now I'm gonna cut until this edge. And the second cut, I'm gonna turn it and move it again until the line. And now I'm going to make the next cut. And now I've cut it out. So that's also a method. A next method is if you have, for example, to cut with an angle like this here. So what I also do is I'm gonna drill here in a hole in it. So here I'm gonna drill. And then I put here this on the line, and I'm watching through the hole here where I can see the knife stop. So it means until there. And now the same thing, I'm doing it like this, turning this metal. Also here where the hole is, I'm gonna search the knife. Okay, see the knife, and there it is. So there are different types of cutting metal, and well, these are the most methods I showed. I hope you liked the video, And of course, don't forget thumb up, and in the video description there's a direct link for the WST machine from Schwartmanns, the hand lever Guillotine. And it's a real good machine. I'm working a long time with it, so don't forget to visit the website of Schwartmanns. There are also other good products. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.